Hello everyone and welcome to the latest TBU merch review. I'm Dustin from the BatmanUniverse.net, and today we are taking a look at another McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figure. This one is in fact the Flashpoint Batman Unmasked. This is a new variant. This was first revealed back in October of 2020. This is a variant of the previous released Flashpoint Batman. The Flashpoint Batman that was originally released actually had the cowl on. This is a variant of the same figure. Everything about this figure is very similar to the original release except for the head sculpt. Given that we haven't actually taken a look at the original one, this is the first time we're actually seeing the Flashpoint Batman, at least on this channel. We're going to be looking at this kind of blindly because we have yet to look at the Flashpoint Batman. So, as you can see from the packaging, the character is exactly who you would expect it to be, Thomas Wayne. He has a couple of specific accessories that we'll get into in a little bit more detail. But the McFarlane Toys, again, are going for those variant versions of Batman without actually having different unique versions of Batman. I should say they are unique versions of Batman, but they're different versions of the existing character of Batman because Batman is incredibly popular. As we take a look at the packaging, you can see that it specifically says Batman Unmasked as the name of the character. You can see that it says it's from Flashpoint. However, the character itself is actually based off of the comic of Batman from 2017, as it's detailed in the box itself on the card, that the figure is actually based off of the character's appearance from Batman number 22 from the comics, not the Flashpoint Batman series that obviously took place before the New 52 back in 2010. So as we actually open up the box, you're going to see my failed attempt of trying to do this as smoothly as I can, but let's take a moment to say that as you are watching this review, I'd greatly appreciate if you could subscribe to us here on YouTube, or if you are watching elsewhere, be sure to like the video or leave a comment down below. That greatly helps the channel out in growing and getting these videos out to more people. With that, as you can see from the packaging, it comes with the typical card, the display stand, there's a sword, and there are two pistols, and then the figure in themselves. This figure is not an exclusive to any one specific retailer. This is listed, at least through McFarlane, as it's available through Amazon, Walmart, and Target. If you are so interested, of course, there is a link to the Amazon version of the figure, or I should say the Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon if you click the link in the description below. That is where it will help out our website in producing more reviews like this in the future. So now that we've got the figure out, you can see a little bit better. Here are all of the accessories that the figure comes with laid out. The figure himself stands very well, even without the stand. I will say, out of the figures that we've reviewed recently from McFarlane Toys, this figure actually stands probably the best of the group, but there are a number of different accessories, but as we look at the figure in more detail here in a second, just keep in mind that, again, this is the same figure except for that head sculpt that has been previously released. So as you can see from the detailed up close of the figure itself, obviously it looks very much like Bruce Wayne, except for, of course, you've got the gray hair and you've got kind of like the grizzled older version of the character because it is Thomas Wayne. The cape and cowl, you can see the cowl is actually pulled back on his head. Looking at his utility belt, it's that red that we've come accustomed to with Thomas Wayne. It has holsters on either side that the weapons actually fit into, which is a nice little detail. We've seen that in some of the other figures in the past, but I will say the cape sculpt, I appreciate those little edges on the top of the shoulders. The articulation, again, is very, very, there's a lot going on with the articulation, more so than I would potentially need as a collector, but I know that there's a lot of collectors that really look for the massive amount of articulation that actually comes with the figure. The decal on the chest, that Flashpoint Batman logo, is one of the logos that I've really, really enjoyed over the past decade or so. So it's nice to see that on a figure itself. As you can see from the detail, even the knee pads have that nice little back cowl, but as you can see on the back, it actually has the back cowl folded back as if it is he did just unmask and he's standing there without the mask on. So that's a nice little detail. One of the accessories that comes with it is this sword. The sword is very flexible. It's made of like a vinyl-like material. There's a lot of little details on it. You can see some battle damage on the sword itself with the little creases, but it is very extremely flexible. It's not intended to be, an actual sword or something that you could actually poke somebody with because it is rubber. The other accessories that come with it are 2 matching pistols. These, again, have a nice little color scheme to them, look very realistic. It's one thing to have... We've heard from Warner Brothers in the past they're not keen on having toys that have guns, but because these are meant for an adult collector and they're at that higher price point, and they're in fact made by a completely different company than the typical boys line of toys, you're going to see things like weapons available from the adult line. Here's the standard DC Multiverse stand. Nothing special about this. This is featuring the wonderful art that we remember from back in Tom King's run on Batman. This is obviously Jason Fabik's version of Flashpoint Batman that we see in the art based off of the button. The bio that is on the data file on the back gives a little bit more information. The Amazon sword is part of the figure, which we talked about, and then obviously it gives a nice little bio of what you can expect. Now, as far as the actual figure itself, once you put on the display stand, here you can see we've put the pistols in the holsters. They fit perfectly. The hands are obviously modeled to hold the pistols as well, but also that's Amazon's sword, which is great to see as well. Overall, this is one of probably the better figures that like I said earlier, this is probably one of the better figures that I've seen from McFarlane Toys. I'm no expert per se when it comes to paint and everything, but I will say everything that I've seen on the figure and the accessories, there was no paint blemishes that I've noticed on some of the past figures. The articulation, while is still standard and very articulated, there's a lot of ability just for it to stand on its own without the need for the display stand, which is always nice to see, which is something we haven't seen in every single figure that is previously released. So overall, this is a great figure, definitely worth checking out. Again, if you are interested in purchasing it, please consider purchasing it using the link in our description. That will take you directly to Amazon, and by purchasing it, you will be helping us out in being able to produce future reviews. With all of that being said, if you are interested in finding all kinds of news related to Batman, be sure to check out our website, thebatmanuniverse.net, for all news related to movies, TV, merchandise, video games, comics, and everything else from the world of Batman. In addition to that, we have Twitter, Facebook. We have a Facebook group. We are on Instagram. We have a Discord as well. You can find links to all those things in the description below. And we appreciate all the support that you guys have given us. If you are interested in getting in touch with us, please leave a comment below, or you can find a way to contact us directly in the description below as well. With all that being said, thank you so much for joining us for another TBU merch review, and we will see you guys next time.